Okay, it's 1 o'clock and I like to start things on time, especially things like this. So let's let this thing roll. Amen. We want to welcome everybody to Peacemakers today. Absolutely. And over the next 3 days, we're having a short series called Kingdom Business. Everyone say Kingdom Business.
Kingdom Business.
You know, Jesus actually made a statement at a certain point. He said, I must be about my Father's business. So there's many aspects, there's many realms of the kingdom of God. It's not just one thing or another. It's not, just church services or just the Bible. But the kingdom of God, when you actually dig into it, it encompasses all aspects of life. It encompasses all aspects of you. Every part of you is important in God's eyes. Whether you're succeeding spiritually, whether you're succeeding mentally, whether you're succeeding emotionally, physically, financially, there is not one part of you, everyone say one part.
One part.
There's not one part of you or I that isn't important to God, and it's not important to God that you succeeded. Joy in 3 John 2, the Apostle John wrote this, Beloved, I wish above all things that you would prosper and be in good health, even as your soul prospers, that you, the whole man or the whole woman, would prosper. So, in this series called Kingdom Business, does it relate to the kingdom of God? Absolutely. And we're going to be honing into a little bit more specifically in this course about things that go on out here in the real world, about business ventures. This is about training for occupations in life. Tomorrow we're going to be talking about evangelism by Pastor Steve, and he's just going to be teaching a straight up course on that and how to integrate that and work that into our everyday life. See, you don't have to be a preacher behind a pulpit to make a difference for God.
Amen.
Okay? You don't have to be a pastor of a church to influence people for Jesus, but God has called us salesmen, cooks, business owners, dump truck drivers. God has called every single one of us to go into society with our influence and impact that for Jesus. Amen?
Amen.
So these are good stepping stones. Everyone say stepping stones.
Stepping stones.
To go a little bit higher. So I'm only going to be up here about a couple more minutes. So to just summarize my part here. Also at Peacemakers, one of the things that we're doing is we're developing businesses. Everyone say businesses.
Business.
We have a fully operating moving company that a total of about 10 or 11 people have anywhere from part to full-time work. And there's a couple other ventures that are getting up off the ground right now. And see, here's the thing. As we're putting people to work here, as we're helping guys and women to get back up on their feet and move forward in life. See, we want to prepare you for success. Anthony, I don't want to send you into a situation or send you out on a truck or send you to a customer and you don't have the skills. You don't have what it takes to succeed. I want to send you in fully equipped. Everyone say fully equipped.
Fully equipped.
Amen. And prepared for the Master's use. See, if we can give you the tools you need, if we can add tools to your tool belt, you can go into a situation just like a fully prepared plumber. Go in, get the job done right, go out. Everyone's happy, the customer's happy, you happy, and you walk out feeling good about yourself.
Amen.
Here's one thing I found. If I can provide Wesley an honest day's labor, if I can provide for Wesley a job, it does something to the man's self-esteem. It causes the man to maybe walk around and pull his head up a little bit higher. Wow, you know what? I have something to offer. I'm learning some skills. I'm learning how to do a few things. I can help. I can make a difference. I can earn a paycheck. And wow, I'm starting to see some tangible ways about how I can move forward in life on this path. Again, life is not just about money. It's not just about a job, for sure. But that's a part. Everyone say a part.
A part.
Relationship with Christ. El numero uno. This is our foundation. Christ is everything. Christ is not only the foundation, but He's our all in all. But again, He wants to impact every part of your life and set you up for success in every realm.
Praise God.
So today, my brother Jonathan Upshur is going to be speaking a little bit about sales. Tomorrow, Pastor Steve Upshur is going to be speaking about evangelism. Many of you, some of you may not know how many people through the decades he has led to the Lord. He has an expertise in that area. And see, what we've learned to do here at Peacemakers is to draw upon your expertise. We want to draw the gold nuggets about you.
Yes.
God's placed wisdom. Everyone say wisdom.
Wisdom.
God's placed skills. Everyone say skills.
Skills.
Talents. Everyone say talents.
Talents.
God has placed so many unique things into everyone here. And if I can learn to draw upon RJ's expertise, whatever that is, guess who walks away from it a better man?
All right.
So Pastor Steve for sure has an expertise, and amongst other things, evangelism is one. And I'm looking at you. You have that evangelist anointing, so you're going to need to be here. If you're going out a job tomorrow, we might have to swap that, because you need to be here, Anthony. We're training the whole man. And then, so tomorrow evangelism at 1 p.m. and Saturday 1 p.m. I will be teaching a leadership course. So we'll have lunch at noon each one of these days. And I want to encourage you in a couple things here. Number one, be on time. We want to start these sessions on time. See, we're preparing people for the real world here. We're preparing people for kingdom business. And a part of this, like we're going to be going over some of these things, when you tell a customer, ma'am, I'll be there at 10 a.m., you want to be showing up with a smile at 9:59 a.m. Meet the customer's expectation. We're going to teach people how to be successful here. So, we want you to be on time. Everyone say on time.
On time.
We want everyone to have pen and paper. Say pen and paper. Now, Joy, why would I be asking everyone to have pen and paper in these meetings? To take notes. Did you know that when you're learning something and you jot down notes, that helps your ability to retain the information? You remember, everyone say remember. You remember what you write down way more than just hearing it with your ears. There's something to that. There's something very important to that. See, we're not just up here blowing smoke. Okay? We're not up here because we have nothing better to do. We're here building the kingdom of God on Shane Street in Detroit, on planet Earth. And this is serious business.
Yes, it is.
And if we're going through the time and the effort to pull all this stuff together and arrange awesome encounters for people to be built up in God in so many different ways, we need people to take full advantage and maximize the opportunity. I want you walking out of here with 100% of what is possible. I don't want you, Rodney, I don't want you walking out with just 10% of what you could have gained. We want you walking out with 100%. Life is short, and life also ain't easy, so we need all the training we can get. So, today, my brother Jonathan Upshur, who is a star salesman with Wow Cable Company and has been with other companies, we've asked him to come speak to us. This guy has won awards, okay, many awards. As a salesman, to be honest with you, when I look at his paycheck, I get a bit envious and jealous of it. All right, this guy's really, at this point of life, he's really got me beat, like really, really, really bad. The guy has something to say. He has a gift for sales that the rest of us in the kingdom need to glean from. So he's going to come up here and he's going to impart to us some wisdom and knowledge. And we're also going to ask them questions. If you have questions, jot it down, because we're going to while we got this guy here, we want to pick his brain, right? We want to pick his brain and tap into what God's given him. So Jonathan Upshur, let's give him a hand clap. Come on, how's everybody doing today?
All right.
Who wants to be more successful?
And glorious.
Amen. Me, yeah. No, Jeremiah does. Is that it?
Amen. Me too.
All right. Okay.
That's right.
Who all here works with the moving company, with Peacemakers Moving Company? 1, 2, 3, 4. So about 4 of you guys. All right. So, everybody, if anybody has any questions at any point, just feel free to just kind of blurt it out, raise your hand, however you want to do. If you want to piggyback off of something I say or whatever. But I've been pretty much selling my whole life, and we all have in a way, whether you realize it or not. Going back to being like a little kid, we used to go to a Christian school my parents put us in, and we had a, what do they call that, a quota or something?
Every family had a quota to meet with,
So every family had to do its part to raise money for your education costs. So, being a little guy, my mom used to drive me out in neighborhoods, and I would go door to door and sell entertainment books with a bunch of coupons in them for $20, or Morley candy bars, and be selling those anywhere you could go, church or door to door. But even for anybody who really thinks that they haven't sold anything, you're selling something every day. You're selling yourself to people. Just with how you want people to think of you, and so I mean, we all do it every day, whether you realize it or not. But just some of my early childhood sales experience would have been, going door to door and selling this kind of candy bars and coupon books to raise money for our quota. So I would say that was good training that my parents had put me in. Well, they didn't train me, but they got me to where they got me started doing something towards selling. So doing that as a little kid, you're doing that, every year. It seemed like you had to do that once a year for a period of time. After that, I remember being like a young teenager, 13, 14 years old. There's always things you want to buy, right? Everyone's always got things they want. It's never going to go away. It's going to be like that for the rest of our life. There's always things we want to buy. And I just remember being at that age where you couldn't pull money out of mom and dad. You had to kind of get your own money. If you wanted to go to a birthday party and you wanted to give your friend $20 in a card, but mom only had 10 towards it, I'd have to come up with that other $10 somehow. So starting I would say it was about 13, 14. It would snow in Michigan all the time. I'd be out there going through our neighborhoods with a shovel in my hand and knocking on every single door that had a driveway that had snow on it. And I'd go out there for a couple hours, and I'd come home with a couple $100. And to me, there was no job that would pay any money like that. You go bust out a driveway, get paid $25, and it only took you half an hour. So I'd go out there as a young guy and just get my hustle on. I'm sure everyone has done some kind of grinding in their own way to make money, doing side jobs or something like that, looking for work or something like that. But I just remember being out there every year, 13, 14, 15, just pounding the pavement, and any opportunity that I could where I seen money available, I would try to get it. So I remember in those early years going door to door, shoveling driveways and getting money, doing things like that. Well, by the time I was 15 years old, 14 and a half, I had enough money to buy my first car just from doing that. Wasn't nothing fancy. It was like a $1,000 car or whatever, but I had a car before I had my license, was the point. Because I wanted to be able to get my license on the day I turned 16 and have a car already. Not be trying to get money to get a car then. I wanted to be prepared. So I had like a go-getter attitude. I seen things in life that I wanted, and I just tried for it. So backing up to that, right now what I do, I've been working in the corporate world for sales underneath companies, where they're paying you a salary and a commission. and they have all the good side things that go with that, your 401k and your benefits and all things like that. So I'd say my natural starting points was being a child and going around neighborhoods and doing that kind of stuff, to now what I do is I go door to door for a company and I sell what they have to offer to a customer, which is cable TV, internet, and phone. Because everybody out there has cable TV, internet, and some people have home phones, some don't, but a lot of people do have cable and internet. And everyone wants the best deal out there. Nobody wants to be overpaying, right? I mean, if you have something and you're paying $150 a month for it, and I have that same exact thing, but I'm only going to charge you 80 or 90 or 100, wouldn't you want that better deal, right? So right now, that's what I've been doing for about 7 years, is I go door to door. People do not know I'm coming, and I have my lead sheets, and it shows me if they were a customer before in the past or if they've never been a customer. So that gives me a little bit of ammunition in my gun to where I want to start off when I knock on the door. So if I'm talking to somebody who's never had WOW, I'm going to give them a little bit different of a spiel presentation than I would for a customer who's already had our services because they're familiar with our company. I'm going to try a little bit harder with the person who's never had us before. So going there, that's what I do now. I've been very good at it, and a lot of that has to do with my own natural talent that I've developed. But also, I would say one of the most important things is the tithe. I've been a tither. I think tithing 10% of your money that you get is only going to keep you successful in the work that you're doing and bring you more success than what you could probably naturally do yourself. At my company, everyone's always asking me, how do I do it? How do I do it? Because they're looking at, we got this TV in the office that shows what your sales were for the day before and how many installs you had. So everyone in the company kind of knows your business. They know how well you're doing. And in my company, I work the least out of anybody. And I'm one of the top, I have been the top 2 in the country. But last year I was top 3. A guy beat me by 1 sale. No big deal, I didn't care. But he worked 4 times as hard as I did to beat me by 1 sale for a year. So I mean, that just goes to show that tithing can definitely put a strong impact on your business and bless you more than what you would naturally be able to do yourself. So I would say always tithe with whatever money you get, and if you can tithe a little bit more than 10%, it's only going to get better from there. So I try to tithe a little bit more than 10% every week, and I don't worry about my check. I know it's going to be there. So with everyone in the moving company, are you guys meeting customers in person that you have talked to over the phone at first?
Yeah.
Okay. So you'll have a phone conversation with them, and you're trying to get their business right over the phone. Who does that? Everybody?
Right now it's mainly Rich and then Christine doing all the phones.
Okay.
Everyone's going to be seeing this video too. It's not here.
Okay, so in the moving business, it's going to be a lot different on how you guys draw your business in than I do. I do get leads that are warm leads sometimes, usually once a week. We'll get a set of leads, every rep, of people who were warmly interested in our company, but they didn't sign up. So different kind of leads that you get are different kind of responses you're going to give the customer. I have cold leads that I can do every single day where they don't even know I'm coming. I'm going to drive to your street, I'm going to park the car, and I'm going to go knock on every single door who does not have our service. Then there's leads where people go on our internet site and they're looking at our packages, but for some reason they don't sign up. So what that tells our company is that they're interested in switching or something. There's something going on in that family that we don't know. So that's a warm lead. So we'll keep that address, and then they'll send us to it, and we'll surprise show up
when they weren't expecting us. So it's a cold lead and a warm lead at the same time. They'll be like, oh yeah, you know, we were looking at that. So I deal with a lot of customers like that as well. Also, a huge thing in my business is referrals. I don't want to be knocking doors every single day hunting down new customers. I want those customers that I already signed up to be thrilled with the service that I gave them and excited about that savings that I have for them. And I want them to refer people to me, and I want them to make my business line ring. And I just want to grab the call and spend 5 minutes on the phone and write them up. So I get a lot of referral sales. That's what I strive for, is referrals. To me, I would work. My motto is work smarter, not harder. So I try to work the least amount as possible in the most effective way. We kind of got a philosophy. Actually, right here, this is one of these notes I took down in a sales meeting that we had probably maybe even a year ago. One of my lines in my pitches for my customers, when I'm there talking with a customer, a lot of the times I'll knock on the door. You got Sally who answers the door. She's 35. Her kids are running around. The dog's barking. And you go over the deal with her. And then she's going to say, well, let me talk to my husband about it, you know, later when he gets home from work. My whole goal is to close the deal today. And you can't close everybody in the same day. You got those people in different cities. I think people are different. Like Rochester Hills, Grosse Pointe Woods, you know, Shelby Township, Birmingham, those kind of people, they have a hard time making a fast decision because those people have a lot of money, and usually their decisions, their whole life was based on making smart decisions and not fast, stupid decisions. So if I can close a person in one of those cities in the same day, I know I'm doing something right. But in my pitch, when I'm delivering my speech to people, going over, you know, all the benefits and the price of what I have to offer them, in that whole pitch, I'm going to say at least 3 times in that pitch, this is what I can do for you today. I'm creating the illusion in their head that my price and what I have for you is for today. And if you call me tomorrow or next week, I can't guarantee you I can do this price, which I can. I'm not lying to the customer, but I want closure. I want to close the deal now. So this is what I can do for you today is something that I'll say at least 3 times to customers to help them understand that today is
Day of salvation.
Today's the day of salvation. Today is the day the kid is here. Today is the day the deal is offered, and today is the day it's going to go down.
So what you're saying is you're like a canvasser. You go door to door basically, right? Right leads and
Yeah.
yeah. I've done that before.
Yeah. In the past 2 years, I would say I've been there for almost 5 years now. While I worked doing the same exact thing for AT&T, selling their cable, internet, and phone packages to people. But now with the company I'm with now, I've been there for almost 5 years. So the longer you're there, the easier it gets, the better you become. The more referrals come in, you know, the more people know that you work for WOW. I'm signing up friends left and right, and their family members and cousins and friends and people I don't even know. I'll get leads for all kinds of different people in different avenues. So in the last 2 years, I really haven't had to go door to door. Those warm leads I was telling you guys about, where people go online and they inquire about our service, I'll always go to those houses because they're warm. But like the cold door, I've pretty much gotten away from that because I don't need to do that anymore. But you know, when I first started, I was having to do that all the time. And once in a while I might do it. You might have a slow week where you might not get a lot of referrals. So you're always keeping everything sharp in your head of what you're saying. But so once in a while we'll go door to door, but that's like not really my daily workflow anymore. That's kind of what you want to get away from is that hunt every single day. You know, make the job easy for yourself if you can. So go ahead.
Unless you had another.
I didn't. No.
Okay, so you made an important point earlier about hey, we're all selling something every day.
Mm-hmm.
you know, we're selling ourselves in a sense to others at times. And I'll give this example and I'm posing a question. Let's say Artie and Wesley are both applying for a job. They're applying for a job at the GM building downtown. And they both want to be a cook in a fancy restaurant. And they both have the same exact cooking skills, the same exact experience, the same exact background, but yet one of the guys knows how to sell himself to them a little better than the other. And that guy got the job.
Right.
So tell us, okay, how do you do that? And what are some tips? If he did a poor job of selling himself, but he had the same skills as Wesley, ultimately. Okay, what makes or breaks, what makes or breaks us in these situations?
Right. Well, I can tell you right now, people want to talk to actual people. They don't want to talk to a memorized script. So the more personable you can be with that person that you got to impress, close that hiring manager that you're talking about, being personable with them and being real. And I mean, really what it is they're buying you. Ultimately, they're buying you. So you've got to be able to blend yourself with them, and we call that in our business being a chameleon. And my boy Charles, he goes out there and he'll grind all day. He'll knock doors all day, but he'll get a lot of sales. I'm like, how'd you do? He's like, man, I just blended with them, dog. I'm a chameleon, dog. He says that. I'm a chameleon. It's that person that you're up against, figuring them out in a flash and what you think they would like to hear, and being their friend. Ultimately, people buy people. People buy me every day. They don't even really buy what I got. It's me that I sold to. Sometimes I'll get people to switch, and my price is more than what they're paying. But they bought me, and maybe their service wasn't working as good as they wanted it to, so they're willing to try something new in hopes for it to be better because they liked me. So you got to sell yourself to that person. So blending in with that person and getting on their side in any way that you can. I mean, because everyone's going to be different, so I can't tell you exactly what to do to that person. But being a chameleon, blending in with them, get right on their energy level.
Works too.
Compliments never hurt. Just be genuine about it. Don't be complimenting something that doesn't need a compliment. Be genuine. Sometimes I just want to compliment people on something totally stupid in their house just to break the ice, but I know I shouldn't because it's nothing to really compliment on.
So being real, being genuine, heart to heart, eye to eye.
Yeah.
I like what you said. People need to
sure of
see
yourself.
people, feel people, because I talk about that all too. We're getting so technical. People are getting away from eye to eye contact, feeling one another. I think personally is a great point.
Yep. Being genuine, being yourself, and being real with the person. That's how I close my deals. Is that they're talking to me. They're not talking to some script that Wow gives me to say. And a lot of body language in my field helps when you're talking with your hands and stuff. Instead of being like a stiff Steve at the thing. I am John with Wow. I'm here today to help you save some money. They don't want that guy. They don't want a robot. They want a robot, right? So, if you guys are dealing with customers that are over the phone and you can't physically see them, that can be easier sometimes because you don't have to put on a. I'd rather saw a person over the phone than in person any day. I feel like it's just easier. The reason why is because they can't see your face, if you're nervous at all, or what you look like. A lot of times I'm in my house in my underwear making breakfast, and I'm writing deals. And it's about being in your comfortable element. So for you guys, when you're trying to get that customer on the phone, The people who do your phone deals aren't here, are they? Rich and who?
Well, Rich and Christine, but you know, who knows what kind of other jobs or other situations just
Right.
anyone else is
Well,
gonna get.
yeah.
What if you only have contact with somebody through email?
That too, that works. Again, it's all about proper spelling and punctuation. I get email deals all the time. Email deals is the least, like the avenue where I get the least amount of sales. But like if I go to someone's door and I leave my card in their door and it has my name and my number and my email, or they have my email on the business card, I don't write many deals over email, but I have, and you know they're all saved right in here. Customer will email you, they'll tell you who they are, where they live, what they're looking for. To do an email deal, I can tell you this. Always start off by thanking them for contacting you. Then make sure that every word you're spelling is spelled correctly and the punctuation is where it's needed. Because they don't want to be emailing with someone that's not professional. So be very clear in your emails. Proper spelling is very important. I can't stress that enough. That's huge, because when you open up that email, do you want to read an email that's all misspelled and stuff? Would you want to sign up with a person that's emailing you some deal who can't spell right, or their lingo is choppy? You wouldn't feel totally comfortable, you know? So on an email deal, do you guys get much emails?
This isn't for the moving company,
No.
that's for a separate instance.
Okay, well, whatever it is, I would say make sure you thank them for writing you, proper spelling and punctuation, being polite, and don't try to cut the email short. Make them feel like they got something to read. Don't try to cut corners, because sometimes I do just try to just break down a price real quick and throw it, and then I'll go back and add some more sentences to it, and a good formal closing to the email. I don't know if you guys use for me, I would just write, I get personable with my customers. I'll write your well representative, and then my first and last name in full. People like to see first and last names. It creates trust, instead of just me saying John. I write my whole name on there. Even on my order forms, when they get a copy of their order, I got my first and last name on there. Because the more they know about you, the more they're going to trust you, period. So, not everybody's going to buy. Some will buy. It's important to keep this attitude in your head, like in my field, because you can get discouraged really easily, especially for the people that are newer. Because in my job, the longer you're there, the easier it gets, the better you become. But you got to remember, like in a field like mine where you're knocking cold doors, you got to remember one thing, and you got to keep this in your head. Don't ever take anything personally. I mean, you might go to the door and do a quick, I'm John with WOW, and they'll be like, I hate you guys before I effing hate you, get the F off my porch. that can tear you down so quick, and then you don't even want to go knock another door. So you got to remember, it's not at me, don't let anything get to your head. And you got to remember, some will buy, some won't buy, so what? You have to be okay with that. So what? Some will buy, some won't buy, so all those no's you hear at the door, so what? Someone will buy,
That's right.
Staying sharp-minded and not forgetting that, and not taking things personally, because it's all about keeping your attitude sharp and fresh for each person that you come to. I'm not gonna lie, there's been tons of doors I knocked with no soliciting signs, and a couple times I've had a person, can't you read the sign? No sir, I'm sorry, I was looking down at my clipboard, I'm very sorry about that. But and then they'll either listen to you or shut the door. So in our field, it's kind of like one of those gray areas.
50-50.
We have a lot of people who do knock the no soliciting doors and some that don't. If it's a warm lead, they went online and they were researching us a little bit. Because they did that, and if they have no soliciting sign, I'm going to knock the door anyways. I'm like, hi Joe, you were on our website yesterday, if I don't have the name, I'm still going to knock. I'll be like, yeah, we actually stopped by because we seen you inquired yesterday online. And usually because you came and did that, they forgot they have a no soliciting sign. So in my field, it's kind of like it's up to you if you want.
Well, like you said at the beginning, Bud, in your company, you're working the least amount of hours out of everyone,
Mm-hmm.
and you're at the top of the company.
Mm-hmm.
So you obviously have something to say about sales. Now, here's my question. I'll bet that you see that there's a lot of people out here that have misconceptions about sales. Like, oh yeah, I know all about sales, but you know that they're doing something wrong.
Oh yeah.
What are some misconceptions that probably a lot of us have, or other salespeople you deal with, you know they're falling short, you know that they're in error. Can you speak on that? And
Well, from what I see people doing wrong, those complainers who just aren't having any luck with it, it's just they need to go through a whole training, and they need to get rid of what they got going on and get a new program going. And they need to change some things about themselves. It could be their appearance, it could be their pitch that they're saying. It could be how smooth it's coming off to the people. How proper the grammar is. It really can be a whole bunch of things broken down, and that's what ultimately is defeating them. In our field, everyone who doesn't make it are usually the people who are lazy and don't want to work, and the people who just don't have a smooth presentation, and ultimately confidence closes. You have to be sold on this yourself 100%. Because if you don't appear that way to the customer, they're not even fully listening to you, and they already know they're not going to sign up, but they'll let you talk to be nice. So these people are wasting their time at the door because their shoulders are shrugged down. They don't have the full refreshing deliverance to give to people. So I mean, really, the people who don't succeed, they just got to sharpen up everything that we just kind of talked about. I mean, they're doing something's wrong with the intro. I can tell you this: when a person opens the door, or when somebody calls you guys for the moving company, you have 3 seconds to impress them and give them a good first impression. 3 seconds is it. In that 3 seconds, if you don't turn them on, you've already turned them off in the 3 seconds, and they've already formulated their opinion on if they're going to buy from you or not, or if they're willing to buy from you. One thing that I do to get people turned on immediately at the door is energy and a smile and eye contact. A knock on the door. They come to the door. I go, "Hi, how you doing? I'm Jonathan Upshur, first and last name." I'm waving, eye contact, smile. How can they turn that away? I mean, it's a nice feeling. It's a nice feeling. It's all about that first impression you give people. If you don't got a good first impression in that couple seconds, the deal's dead. So you're waving, and then they're like surprised that you're there, and they're like, "Oh, that's a cute dog you have there. I got this kind of dog. I love animals." You're breaking the icebreakers. For me in our field, that's something that we have to use to be able to keep these people in gear. For you guys on the phone, it's a little different. If you guys are fielding a call where the call comes into you, you never talked to the person before, I'm sure Rich does a good job at it. I'm sure he has a good proper, "Hi, I'm Rich with Peacemakers Moving Services. How may I help you this beautiful afternoon?" I'm sure he has something nice and proper, polite to say. So you got to have a good greeting. Kind of forgetting what your question was right now.
Yeah, well, you're doing a great job answering it, touching on things. The question, because I'm sure you have more ammo to give us on this, is what are some typical things that people think makes a good salesman or will make a good sale? Like, "Oh yeah, I know all about selling," but they're wrong, or those things don't work, or those things turn customers off. Is there any other...
What are the things that turn customers off, basically?
Tell us that.
Cockiness, You know, if the conversation isn't going so well, and you portray that you're better than them, or you portray that you don't need the sale, that you don't need their money, that you make more money than them. You know, getting arrogant. You know, you're losing your professionalism at that point. You're no longer there trying to impress the customer anymore. You're there trying to be proud. You gotta just let all that go, and just even though you might be making more money than them or whatever. I got people that are in the slums talking to me, and they're acting like they're better than me, but I don't even care. I still treat them. I kill them with kindness, because maybe right now they don't want to talk to me because they're in a bad mood or something happened. But you're going to have my information, and you might go throw it out in the garbage, but you might hold on to it too, and you might call me later when you're having a better day. So always keeping your professionalism there, and you know, things that will kill people in my job is, I know one guy who does it all the time, but he still does very well because he works really hard, but still with those customers, he can't close. He'll be rude to them. He'll be like, you need me, I don't need you. And I say something like that, which that is the truth.
Yeah.
That person does need to save $50 a month, and he doesn't need the $100 or $200 commission. You know, the truth is that they really do need him, but you don't tell that to the
Yeah, in
person.
your face don't work.
Keeping your professionalism and your politeness there all the way through it, no matter how it's going. That's one thing that kills people. Also, just not working, not knocking doors, and you know, taking no too quickly. Like if someone just says I'm not interested, right off the rip, they'll be like, okay, have a good day, and walk away. You gotta fight those rebuttals. I got an arsenal of rebuttals for not interested. I mean, if you tell me not interested, the conversation is now just getting started.
There you go.
So, I mean, that's another thing that kills people in my job is they'll knock on the door, oh, I'm Chris, okay, well, I'm not interested, you know, and then they'll be like, okay, have a good day, and they'll walk away. They're defeated. They get defeated too quickly. That's a huge thing that kills people. So you gotta have, you gotta know, like for whatever business you're in or whatever kind of people you're dealing with, you gotta know what those rebuttals would be, because it's gonna be different for every kind of a job out there. I know what mine are. I've written them down. I've drilled them in my head. You know, I'll never forget them.
And Jonathan, that goes with the gospel too, presenting the gospel, because that's a class act. People saying I'm not, you know, and if you're a quitter, very good principle to present the gospel.
Yeah.
You know.
So, but you know, in my world, it's also, you know, you can determine your own success. I mean, you got to set goals for yourself, write them down. Where do you want to be at this year? Where do you want to be at in 5 years? Where do you want to be at in 10 years? So what's going to make you a better salesman is knowing where you want to go in life. Having that stuff written down so you have something to work for every day. Now, I don't know if everybody in here is you know, trying to get jobs in these avenues, or if this is just for general knowledge, but for me, I know what I want for the rest of my life, and I know what the things I'd like to have and places I'd like to go. And those goals are embedded in my head, and I know what I got to do to stay on that road to make those things happen. So having a goal, for sure. You got to have a goal written down, and I'd say tape it on your mirror when you're getting ready every morning. Read it 2-3 times before you leave for the day. Somewhere where you're going to see it every day. I've read a lot of books in business from multi-millionaires, people giving their advice and stuff, and that's something that they do. And I had done it before at a point. I don't have it anymore written in my face because all my goals that I wanted to reach, I'm pretty much at them right now. So now it's just like, just keep your paycheck coming, really. But you know, I should write down more goals that I'd like to have in the next 10 years, because your goals can always change as the years go by. So I would say, you know, everybody go home and think about where you want to be at in 1 year, 5 year, 10 years, and start with that. And you know, start doing something to get in that path that'll bring you there. Some people's goals are bigger than others. My goals are bigger than most people's, but that's because you only live once. So I'd like to have all the fun and nice things that I can, you know. In my world, you know, what gets people overall is showing the value of what you have. So you can talk about it, but you really got to show them the ultimate value of why to choose me. With you guys, you know, I don't know how you compare to all the other moving companies, but you got to show your value to them over the phone or over in person. Just find out why they should choose you over somebody else and let them know that reason why. Because people like to buy value. Show the value. For me, it's always like I can guarantee my price longer than what they can. I can give you a better overall price than what they can, and I'll give you better equipment in the house. So that's like 3 wins right there for them. Win, win, win. And it's free installation too. So really I build value and just embed it in these people, and the value sells in me because it's the way I talk it to them. So what are the qualifications of like a good salesperson?
Yeah.
I mean, is that really what the question is?
Yeah.
You know, you got to be hungry. You got to be eager for money and willing to work. Starting with that, when you know once you got that going and you're willing to work, you have to take into consideration what you're doing and how you're doing it. So like for each job out there, it's going to be different for every job. So you have to really put in place, you have to think, why am I out here and what am I doing today? And how hard am I going to work? And you got to have a daily goal for yourself. How many sales do I want to get today? Or equated to money, how much money do I want to make today? So going out there with a daily goal will make you the best because you already know what you want before you go out there. And you already got set in your head how hard you're willing to work for it. And if you stick to that and do that daily after day after day, there's no reason why you shouldn't succeed. And always, the best salespersons, they always shoot for a higher goal. And if they finish under that, they're going to be okay with it because they shot really high. They reached for the stars and they only got to the clouds. You know what I'm saying? So shoot high on your goal and work as hard as you can to get that. And if you miss it, you still did great. You know? But I mean, I can't go into really specifics because my job's going to be a lot different than most other people's jobs. Like for me, I know what I got to do to be one of the top guys there. But those are things that are related to my work. You know what I'm saying? So unless if you were going to do door-to-door sales, you know, my specifics aren't going to really help exactly what you might be doing. Yeah. Mine would be waking up and returning all my customers' calls that I've had previous contact with. You know, some people aren't ready to sign up right now. There are those Grosse Pointe Woods ladies who need a week to think about it. So I'm getting their name and number and I'm going to follow up with them. I'll suggest a day and a time, see if it works good for them. So I'm always doing follow-up calls with my customers. Do you guys ever have customers to follow up with?
Yeah.
So do you tell them a day and a time that you're going to follow up with them?
I'm not sure what our people are telling them.
Okay.
These are all good things.
Because you should, because it keeps it, because people can forget about this kind of stuff. So you always want to, if someone's not sure what they want to do, establish a day and a time to follow up with them. Because if you don't, then you might just be calling at random times and not getting them. And establishing a day and a time with them, they're expecting your call. And when you come through and call them back at that time, they trust you now, and you got a much better chance of closing the deal. So for me, my days are following up with customers when I tell them I will, and getting my work materials all set for when I go to work, like my door tags. I got these labels that have my name and my number on them. I highlight them with a permanent marker, then I take the label and I put it on the door tag. So getting my business set up before I go out to work, like preparing myself for the day. So preparing yourself for your day is something that top salespeople do in whatever field that they're in, mentally and physically. You know, working out, staying healthy, eating healthy, going to the gym, or just doing physical exercise will make your whole well-being better. You'll feel better, and you'll naturally be a better producer too if you're taking care of yourself physically too. So that's one thing I do is eat healthy and work out, because I know I'll be feeling my best and giving my best to my customers. Yes.
I got one other thing. You also tell people that you did some work in the area. Let's say if you go down and you do like you get like an installation for a while, you did like maybe like
Oh yeah.
let's say you did some.
Yep, the
roof
Jones
job.
effect is what we
Yeah.
call that.
Okay.
You know, I'll be like, you know, I just signed up, as you're talking in your speech somewhere, you throw in there, yeah, I've signed up, you know, 3 of your neighbors on this street, or if it was on the other block or 2 blocks down, say over on Jones Street over there, I signed up 2 people. They're like, oh, okay, really? So letting them know that other people are buying it too, the Jones effect, definitely helps. You know, and they'll be like, yeah, I seen your guys' trucks in our neighborhood all the time. And for all I know, that could just be one of our trucks there fixing somebody's internet problem and not even being a new install. But, you know, the Jones effect is what they call that. And yes, use that to your advantage. For sure. And ultimately, for me and my job, you got to have fun with it. You can't be too serious. Having fun is a huge key in this, because when you're having fun, people just see a real person there, and that is a huge key, you know, is to have fun. And when somebody tells you no after you've worked with them and you can't get them to do it, maybe it doesn't make sense. Like there's people I'll go over a deal with them and I can't save them any money, so I don't expect them to switch. So I'll be on my way, leave them with my info. But when their bill goes up, who are they calling? They're calling me. So having fun with your job is a huge thing in it. But you know, don't be goofing off, you know, or doing things that could be unsafe in your work environment. But ultimately, have fun.
What would you recommend as far as dressing when you're out there canvassing, and how should a person appear?
Oh, how should a person appear?
Yeah.
Well, it depends on what you're doing exactly. In my world, and door to door, you're outside a lot, so you're dressing for the weather.
Yeah.
But you're dressing for the weather in a clean way, in a professional way. I'll wear shorts. You know, on a day like today, I would wear some cargo khaki looking colored shorts with our company gives us actual shirts and stuff to wear. So I'd be wearing a polo that says WOW on it. And, you know, I'd have some nice shorts on that are clean, keeping your clothes clean, your hygiene clean, your hair, your facial hair. Your whole image has got to look sharp, you know. But,
So you say appearance is very important. Right?
yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And then language, you know, like
Yeah.
proper Queen's English.
Yeah, I mean, you know, try to use proper English as the best as you can, because that's going to go along with being professional.
Yeah.
You might, you know, but there's been areas I've worked, like Harper Woods, it's hood. You know, it's a different environment. So again, being a chameleon, blending with your environment. When I went to Harper Woods and sold cable for all those months, I was in the hood. I talked with people a little bit differently. You know, you might have a more proper person answer the door where you're going to go in a proper mode, or you might have some hoodlum answer the door, and you know, you can talk to him a whole different way, like a bro on the street. You know what I'm saying? So it's really it's a one-on-one basis, or it's an individual basis of how exactly you want to talk to that person. So like, yeah, I mean, you know, it's very just like it's a people person job. Talking to people the way they like to be talked to is one thing. But different cities I go to, I'm going to give a little bit different of a twist to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it sounds like,
Grosse Pointe Woods is gonna be a whole different treatment of how I talk to people versus going to sell in Harper Woods. They're right next to each other, but it's two different classes of people. And I prefer to work in Harper Woods any day. It's much nicer and easier for
very
me.
good, sir.
Yeah. Make a friend, and you're going to talk to each friend differently based on who that type of a person is. So, but complimenting can, in my world helps when I walk in someone's house and I compliment the painted walls or the new carpet they got or the awesome TV they got. We call those icebreakers, but yeah, getting personable with people, there's nothing wrong with that. Just be genuine about it and not fake, because sometimes I've caught myself wanting to compliment stupid stuff, and I'll either say it and they don't really got much to say after that. But you can fix things that you do. You might have messed up doing that, but you'll do something to fix it in the sale, a couple minutes later. It's really just a trial and error type of business that I'm in. You feel it out, you figure it out as you go. But a presentation? Yeah, we could do it.
I'll be a customer.
Okay. So
There's the door.
Okay. So Jeremiah, you are going to be a person that is just a cold. You not look at WOW. You've got Comcast,
Okay.
and you're paying about $140 a month for your cable, internet, and phone package. It's about the general thing. So I'm gonna come up to the door.
Call.
He doesn't know I'm coming. All right. So I'm gonna come up and I'm gonna be like,
Hi.
"Hey, how you doing?"
I'm all right. How about you?
I'm doing very well. Thank you for asking. I appreciate that. My name is Jonathan Upshur, and I'm holding my badge out. It's got my photo ID. My name is Jonathan Upshur. I'm actually out here with WOW Cable, Internet, and Phone today. The reason why we're visiting you guys is because we're actually just doing some interesting deals in your neighborhood just to increase our penetration up from 41 to 43%. So real quickly, I just actually wanted to talk to you about the services that you have and show you a way to help you have a great savings.
I got Comcast.
Okay.
And everything's pretty good.
Okay. Do you guys just cable and internet, or do you have the home phone too, or?
Yeah, I got all three.
Okay. Well, let's just do a quick apples to apples comparison right here and see what we can do for you. As far as our services go, we make it real easy for our customers. There's only 2 channel packages to pick from: basic cable and signature cable. So take a look right here. Basic cable is going to give you guys, and I'm actually going to put this in your hand to give you a sense of possession. So basic cable is going to give you from right here all the way to that word signature. And if you see anything in the signature column that you need, it's only a $10 price difference. So look at that for a minute and you tell me, is there anything that you would need in the signature cable?
Well, what about, what's the price differences here?
$10 in price difference. So if you see just one channel in there that you want.
Between mine and this?
Well, no, not between mine and yours, because I'm not even going to ask you what you're paying right now. I just want to figure out what you need, and then I'm going to tell you what we're going to do for you. Could you see yourself just needing basic?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm really busy right now. I don't
Gotcha.
really feel like talking a whole
No,
lot,
I understand. I might not have caught you at the best time. What I'll do is I'll quote you right now what it would be for you to have basic, and then you can look at it, and if you decide that signature is what you need, we can change it at any time, and your bill would go up $10. I know you have the high-speed internet already. You're using the Comcast modem, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so you don't have your own equipment. And how many TVs do you guys have in the house here?
4.
4 TVs? Okay. Well, as part of what we're doing today in your neighborhood is we'll give you guys free installation, so there's no startup costs. You guys can even try out our service for 60 days. If you're not 100% satisfied, we'll refund you guys all your money back. So, for your first TV, is it a flat screen TV? Okay. What I'm going to do today for you is give you a free high definition DVR for that TV, so you can pause, rewind, fast forward, and record your favorite TV shows. For your other 3 TVs in the house, I'm going to give you guys a free digital box for those TVs. So that way you're going to have the menu guide, you're going to have the on-demand service on all your TVs. Obviously you have high-speed internet, you're using their modem. You said you do have the phone too?
Yeah.
Okay. And you can definitely keep the same phone number that you have right now. We're actually going to transfer that over to us, so you won't lose your number. You don't have to worry about that. What I can do for you today, again, is I'm going to give you free install. I'm going to guarantee your rate to you for 2 full years with no contracts, so you're free to leave us at any time with no penalties. And again, if you're not satisfied in your first 60 days, we'll refund you all your money back. With everything that you got.
My wife is the decision maker around here though, and she ain't gonna be home till later.
Okay. Well, what I can do for you is I can do everything for you guys for only $85 a month. How does that compare to what you guys are paying right now?
It's a $30 savings.
Okay. Well, I know.
So you gotta deal with my wife, man.
Sure. Totally understandable. I know.
And
I know you can't wear all the pants in the family, so what I'm going to do for you is while I'm here, I'm just going to fill this top portion out here for you. I'm just going to give you a written quote of everything that you have here. And how do I spell your first name?
Joe, J-O-E.
Okay. And then all that we need from you, I'm going to give you a written copy of this. Only thing I need from you is either your driver's license number or your social number. If for some reason
Security number, really?
we need one form of identification, we don't sell or trade your information to anybody. We just have to know who we're giving service to. But your driver's license will work fine too if you don't want to give that. But what I'll do is I'll write it up for you. I'll give you a written quote. If for some reason your wife does not like the deal, doesn't want it, she doesn't want to save $30 a month, she doesn't want to have the free HD DVR with the 3 digital boxes, that's completely fine. You can just give me a call and I will not have the technician show up to your house.
Okay.
Fair enough?
Alright.
And now I've wrote the deal, but now he may call me to cancel it once he talks to his wife. So right there, it's not a for sure sale, but I wrote him up and I got everything I need to put it in the system as a sale. And chances are is that once I'm saving him $30 a month and his wife has the channels and she has a paper that shows what they're getting, and they're saving money, usually they won't call me back to cancel. They'll get it installed. Or they'll call me and say, hey, yeah, you know what, we do want to do it, just confirm to me. Or they might call and say, hey, you know what, at this point, we just called AT&T and they lowered us back down to your price. I'm like, okay, well, all right, that's great. Hold my number in the future. At that point, I have a discount I can give to my customers. I might give it to them right off the rip. I never do because I make more money if I don't give them the discount. So I save that in my arsenal of tools as if I need it later. So if they call me to cancel and say, hey, AT&T matched your price, then I got one last thing in my arsenal to give them. I'm going to say, well, what I can do for you, since they did that, is I can go down another $10 a month for you and get you down to $75 a month for everything. And then right there, they're going to be like, yes or no.
Yeah.
So you can't sell everybody, but so what? So now they have all your information, they have your deal quoted, and maybe they don't take it now, but they got my information for when their bill goes back up to call me. So that's typically exactly how I'll go with every one of my customers is just like that. And the price numbers weren't exact, that's not exactly what the price would be, but it's very close to, that's a very typical scenario right there.
So showing people the value that you're bringing to the table, because people, we gotta point things out. Even if we think it's obvious, we have to make it obvious to the customer, right? Whatever
And
situation.
try to do it more than one time if you can.
We're showing the value that we're bringing to the table. Hey, your life, because see, ultimately it's about them, right? Your life is going to be better off if you go along with what I'm saying is the idea. You can benefit. It's not about us. It's not about him benefiting. He's got to make it about them benefiting.
Exactly. Yep, you're exactly right. Don't make it seem like you can't seem like you need the sale, because they can read that all over you. And generally I don't care if they sign up, because my life isn't going to change over one sale. So once you get comfortable and set, they don't see the stress on you for someone who's trying to get food in their stomach for the day, So it does help when you're already comfortable in your element and you don't exactly need the money. That does help you with your overall reflection onto the customer too.
Relax.
Yeah.
Peace.
If you're not hungry and you're not trying to eat a burger today because you have no money in your pocket, They
Yeah.
can tell the difference if you are or if you're not.
Yeah.
So that's one thing that helps is not seeming needy to the person.
Seem desperate.
Right, exactly. Always assume the sale, and they might tell you, oh, no, or now's not a good time. So try to keep going forward without seeming like you're selling something. And like in my case, I left them with a written quote, and if you give me your driver's license number, it's a sale. If you don't give me your driver's license number, some people don't want to give out that last piece of information because they feel like they're being tied down to something, which they are. They're taking the sale, but all they gotta do is call me if they don't want it, you know. So for the people who won't give me that last piece of information, I need the driver's license number or SOCH, I'll be like, okay, that's fair enough, I understand. I'll give them a back copy of it, and then I'm gonna take my copy home with me, and that's gonna be on my desk. I'm gonna say, when can I follow up with you? Tomorrow afternoon, is that a good time to reach you? Then I'm in my underwear eating breakfast, and I make that phone call. I go, hey, it was a great time talking with you yesterday. I just wanted to go over everything again with you one last time, and then I'll close the deal right there. And they give me the driver's license number over the phone. I write it down, and I'm done. I'm not going to put too much pressure on the customer because then you can kill it altogether. Instead of getting it today or tomorrow, you're not getting it at all because you put too much pressure on them and you turn them off. So I'll give each customer the amount of room and time that they need. Some might need a week until I follow up with them, or 2 days, you know. It's different. Some people need a month, and if that's the case, I put a sticky note on my desk and write April 15th, call Jim, number, you know. So always following up when you say you're going to follow up is important.
I'm done.
I'm done. I don't know.
Amen. Let's give Bud a hand clap. Yeah. In closing, what I will say is that, see, here's the thing. We want to help people move towards excellence. Excellence in every field, excellence in what you're doing, excellence in every realm of life. I don't care who you are, or what you're doing, if you're a singer, if you're a secretary, if you're a lawyer, if you're a mover, wherever it is that God is putting you in life, here at Peacemakers, people are going to be trained and encouraged towards excellence. If we start a business, it's going to be ran in an excellent way. So that means we need excellent managers and excellent leaders and excellent workers, and we're not going to settle for less. We're going to hold a high bar, right? Hold a high standard, world-class quality, right? Because ultimately, the world and people out here, they pay for quality, don't they, Bud?
Yeah.
If they think, they might even be wrong, but if they think they're getting quality, they'll pay for it. And we're not going after quality for the money necessarily. We're going after quality because we are kingdom citizens, you see? And God took Daniel and Joseph and Solomon in the Old Testament, and He raised them up in excellent ways, in excellent positions of powers. And then, everyone say then, then they were really able to make a world impact because they were able to be elevated, but they learned excellence first.
Right.
We don't get elevated until we're faithful in the small things, excellent with the few, and if we're faithful and if we're diligent, like Bud was teaching, God will give us more, man. So what I believe here, and we are wrapping this up, believe it or not, what I believe here with Peacemakers, with Detroit, with the Kingdom, with other people like Pastor Bernie, I believe that God is creating more than enough opportunity to go around in so many ways, shape, or form. And the bottom line will always come back to be who's ready for it, who's able to step up the plate. Sometimes people might want to step up to the plate for a position, but if they haven't been able, if they haven't listened when we're doing sessions like this, if we haven't taken notes, if we've blown off certain things in the past, we might not be ready for a good opportunity that God wants to present before us today. So we're going to continue to take all these sessions, every Bible study, every church service, every professional training session like we're doing. We take these things so seriously, and we want to help people grow. So
So, amen. This wraps up today's session. Thanks again to Jonathan Upshur. Thanks, Bud. And we're good to go. We're good to go, yeah.